That's this shit again. And it's like, even if we were just like slightly better than last year, I think we can, you can skim it by Raider. You're still gonna have people like fire this dude, or fire Pete. That's gonna always happen unless we actually have like a plus 500, season. Then you can avoid something like that. But honestly, even if we were 5-12, I think you can skate by and be like, all right, you keep Pete for another year. He's heading in the right direction. Now, obviously, we still have 5 games to go. A lot could happen. Could we win 3 games? I don't think we can win 3 games. Could we win 2 games? I don't know if we can win 2 games. Maybe win 1 game, and that's going to be that Giants game. That's going to be the fucking trash bowl, right? Or the tank bowl, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I don't know, but you're going to have that game that you can possibly steal. So, what happens then? You're still going to be like 3-14. So, yeah, it's a fucked up situation. I think you just have to do it because everything that's leaded up to this point is just Pete's inability or incompetence or whatever you want to call it, that he just cannot make this team look better. And yes, there's not a lot of whole lot of talent, but there is some talent here, and we look better than what we did the last 5 games. We fucking have, for the exception of that Jacksonville game. That Jacksonville game, we looked better, but after that, it was just like garbage after garbage after garbage after garbage. KC game, garbage, right? It's just like, fuck. The Tennessee game, we still look kind of like garbage, but we won that game for
we beat a team that was worse than us.
Exactly. So, yeah. So I don't know, man. I think it has to be Mark and Spytech that are gonna have to step in and deal that blow. But before I go ahead and continue, we continue on this talk, I'm gonna get somebody else's opinion on this. Y'all already know what time it is. I can't also do this show without my brother, my guy from my Wednesday show, the Raider Connection, my guy, 4-1 Raider Jeff in the building. Salute, brother.
Hollywood Jeff, oh baby.
Hi guys. Oh, I just got horrible news. I just came home and there was a notification on my Alexa. So I said, Alexa, what's the notification? She goes, something you follow. The Las Vegas Raiders have been eliminated from the playoffs officially today.
Hollywood!
This is just horrible.
It's horrible.
How can we be this bad? I can't take it anymore. Everybody said we were going to be a playoff team this year. What happened?
Somebody get this man a brewski ASAP.
Somebody got this guy a brewski. Hold on, wait. I got a haircut the other day, so this is me now.
I got mine too.
I still got mine.
An impromptu clown show.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the fucking circus.
And I'm not fired up like I was last week, because last week was just outright embarrassing. And
yeah.
No,
Dom brought the crying towel. She's like, I got you, honey.
Look what it is.
There you go. Wow.
Put that out.
Insult to injury. Hold on, wait. Where's my drum roll? I don't have a drum roll.
I just, like last week I came in here all fired up and had all kinds of food and everything, and this wasn't that depressing. Like I was listening to you guys all the way home.
You got 10%
and I know
better.
Jay said he was just hoping for a little bit of an improvement, and I gotta agree with Will. I'll go with there was like probably a 10% improvement. The players showed a little bit more heart.
Yes, see,
You know,
that's what I wanted.
I saw a little bit of spark in some of them. Kudos to Max. Not for the sack or anything he did on. Kudos to him for pushing Herbert down like that, because I thought that was great. That was the greatest play of the game.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know what Herbert was like shouting, and he's like, "Shut the fuck up!"
He deserved it.
He's like,
He deserved it.
"Arr!" And I know he's all pointy. He's
tell
like,
you right
"Oh, you
now,
gotta push me."
I am waiting to the day of to buy my Philly tickets. I am not paying full price for fucking Philly tickets.
There you go. That's a
There you
that's the
go.
way to do it. Or do it the day before, Don. It's all good. It's either or. It's all good.
So I'll drown my sorrows tonight in a nice coffee.
There you go. Salute to
Duncan,
you.
this guy runs on Duncan.
But it was comical. I know what you're saying. It was comical because he's like, oh, he's all getting pumped, and then Max was like, shut the fuck up. And he falls, right? He's like almost pointing at it, like, the bad man pushed me. And the guy's like, okay, it's all right, buddy. Like, they're there. Personal foul.
And that reminds me of Richard Seymour, what he did to Roethlisberger a few years ago when he smacked him in the face and knocked him on his ass. It's like, sit down and shut up, bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a depressing game. It's still shitty, but yeah. No, we're legit. We're done. Playoffs. I can't believe that's what the notification was on my Alexa when I got home. I'm like, you shitting, Alexa? Even I got to hear from you when I get home.
100% guaranteed not making.
Oh, yeah. I mean.
There you go. Shout out to my guy, Rorschach. He says, Coach P looked like a man that was going to get fired at the end of the season during his presser. I didn't see. This is the thing. I stopped fucking watching this fucking man's thing. I'll probably watch it later on. And I think I was watching it a little bit, but then I kind of fucking tuned out, bro.
Well, I got forced into watching it because I got in the car and I saw that Wasted was on, so I'm like, all right, let's see what he's got to say about this.
Oh yeah. Shout
and then he played the presser, so I'm like,
Wasted.
well, I gotta listen to it, I guess. So yeah, it's the same shit, The reporters up there lobbing softballs to him and him just, acting the way it is. What's up, Gracie? Yeah, I'm happy I'm home now. I get to see my puppy. Yeah.
And this is the thing. Gino's still not up to par. And despite that, he just threw, that interception up to par. Up to par.
You can't even park the car.
The par.
Can you see it? Come here.
There you go. Even though he threw up one interception, it was just like getting sacked 5 times. I give like 3 of those 5 sacks to Gino. Just holding on to the football too fucking damn long.
100%.
Yeah.
Gino is like, he's holding to that ball so long that it's like almost he's inviting sacks. I'll be like, I get what you're saying. And I mean, like, when we were looking at the play and you were looking at some of those sacks, he had 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm counting it in my head. And then again, we look at it and we say it was either he was looking at the line or he was looking for the check down. I never saw this guy try to read one progression to the other. I don't know whether he's going and they're saying, hey, we're just going to throw the check down. But tell me, Jay, I'm like, usually we got taught to read the tree, right? You read the defensive tree from the safeties to the linebackers down. That's going to tell you the coverage. Then you're going to go and you're going to say, hey, you know what? On this play, we're going to read it from deep to short or from short to long or something like that. But it just seems like Gino's just looking for certain players. He's not even looking for the play to develop. He's not looking for certain route concepts. He's not even looking at the defense to say, hey, this is your weakness. It is like, okay, get the ball, look at the offensive line, hold on to the ball, look up, and hope that Brock Bowers is open, Trey Tucker is open, or Ashton Genty is open in the flat. That's all he's doing.
Yeah.
That's not quarterbacking.
And I think, and I'm not trying to defend Gino at all. I think it's also he has like that. What is it called? Has like the hostage syndrome where he was like held hostage by like Chip Kelly for so long. He's like, fuck, I'm just used to this shit. right? And he doesn't fucking audible. He doesn't look fucking for other guys that are open. He's just like, I gotta go with my designated fucking guy, my fucking my number one. That and it's
Yeah.
I get it because you did see Greg Olson run like a little bit of audible like in certain plays, right? Like I saw that like
You
twice.
saw him going back up to the line and doing
Yeah,
adjustments. Which you haven't seen all season.
Exactly,
So,
and that's the difference, and that's why I say this game was different from the other games that we've seen. This 31-14, even though we lost by 3 scores, it, it looked different. It looked a little bit cleaner. It didn't look so fucking messy, and we didn't look so lost
100%.
out there. We look competent at times, and that's That's just what I wanted to portray. Like we suck,
somewhat competent.
You
somewhat
saw
competent, but
improvement.
not all the time. But we look more competent than we did the last 4 fucking weeks, the last 5 weeks, right?
I'll put it, and this is where coaching comes in, right? This is where Greg Olson had this team, and we looked somewhat prepared. We didn't look like we just threw this shit up in the sand and was like, okay, this is what we're gonna do right now.
Yeah.
Just go in there and just throw it to whoever. It was like, all right, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a plan. We're gonna try to execute it. This is what we're gonna do.
You know what? It didn't look like. First of all, shout to everybody in the chat. Sorry, I should have said that earlier, but I was too busy crying when I
How
first.
dare you not acknowledge our peoples?
I know. I apologize,
Appreciate
everybody.
everyone here. Almost 120 in the building, so make sure you
nice.
guys hit the subscribe button.
It wasn't like unorganized chaos like it has been all season. It seemed like there was a little bit more structure out there, I should say. Offensive line still dog shit garbage. So I mean that's another thing.
Yeah.
But as far as the overall, I guess, scheme you want to say that we were doing on offense, you could see what they were wanting to do. It wasn't really coming to fruition because, again, as long as that offensive line is going to be the way it is, you're not going to get a chance to get shit to happen. He did exactly what I wanted him to do today, was get the ball, short throws to Brock, and let him do his magic. He did exactly what you want him to do. He takes that ball from like the 5-yard line, and he's going for 15 to 20, or he gets it at the 10 and he takes it for another 10 yards.
Yeah.
So it was nice to see him more involved.
Yes.
Yeah, he looked good.
Yeah,
today,
there was wide open like a couple of times. So it's like,
which is crazy that they left him wide open.
Yes, and it's like finally this motherfucker fucking sees somebody wide open. Like, come on, he hits him, and he doesn't overthrow him. He doesn't underthrow him. It's like you hit that dude, cool. Like now you got to deal with like the other dudes out there. Like, come on, bro. Like there's guys that create separation. You need to go ahead and keep your eyes open. Now you need to don't fucking just stand there in the fucking collapsing pocket.
Yeah.
If you feel like you're gonna go ahead and get sacked, you need to rush up. And this is the thing, like everybody's expecting him to do that. And he did that so much in Seattle, but we're not seeing that now. It's like we're seeing that New Jersey Jets. The Jets type style where he's just like he just doesn't know what to do. I'm gonna put this up real quick because you said something, Jeff, that brought me a spark that I wanted to go ahead and talk about. That you gave me a little reminder. You said it looked more structured, right? Compared to last week where it was, or the weeks prior, which it wasn't structured, and we're all thinking like, what the fuck is going on? Now this came out the other day as well, early in the week. Shout out to Tom Pelissero and Raiders Resistance putting this out there. This came out that former offensive coordinator Chip Kelly had repeatedly called out the wrong plays on offense during games. Kelly had completely lost his offense when issuing out a play on the field that players became frustrated. What do you guys think when you guys see that and you guys heard the message that was just put out there right now? It's just put out early in the week that he was just calling he's calling plays wrong. And we would call that all the time, like, what the fuck are these guys doing? Like, they look retarded at times. I'm keeping it a beam because we're all thinking the same shit. It looks just completely fucking retarded at times. Case in point, Monday night game, we tried to run it again out of our fucking 2-yard line. We almost did the same shit today. I was like, what the fuck was that? But it's like literally you're running out of your like deep in your own end zone. like what comes to mind when you guys see this stuff? I'll start with you, Will.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. I have never heard of a coach calling
Marcus?
plays incorrectly. Never heard of it. First time in my life that I've heard that a coach coming in there and not making the right play calls. If this is correct and you let this happen for 10 weeks on your clock and you're listening to every single play call, then Pete Carroll, what the fuck are you doing? Because you're listening to it. You're right there with your headphones on, and it should not make any sense to you when your quarterback or your coach goes, hey, we're going to go shotgun, F right, two Falcon, motion something, and it just doesn't look right. And your quarterback is telling you this doesn't look right. This to me sounds like Pete Carroll's people going out and just making a total hit job of this. Okay. This is like a kind of odd thing. I've never heard about it. First time. And if he did, I'm going to still call Pete Carroll out. Yeah. You let your offensive coordinator make calls that weren't correct. You let him continuous, and you said, I trust this guy. I gave him a leash. I thought that he was doing the right things. But you didn't even know your own play calls? Shame on you for being the head coach of this team.
Hey, Mike.
For being absolutely pathetic in that aspect.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
What about you, Jeff?
I'm curious to know how far back Pete knew about that. Ultimately, what happened to Chip Kelly is exactly what should have happened, because that's basically a sabotaging the team. So that, in my eyes, that's a fireable offense. So ultimately, yes, he got shit canned. But how long did Pete Carroll know this for? How long did he let this go on for? That's the big question. Was this just something he found out last week? And then after the game decided, hey, it was so bad that we got to cut, we're cutting ties with you. You're fired. You're out of here. Mm-hmm. So that's the big question, is how far back did that go? Because the whole season, this offense has looked inept. Players not playing in their right positions, guys that shouldn't even be out there in some cases, playing what? I know, I got food next to me. Go away. Guys playing in their position, especially in the O-line, where they shouldn't be. Like, what the hell is Kappa the last couple of weeks playing around with him at center out of nowhere? I mean, what the fuck, man? It just... I just want to know how deep this goes. I mean, it's like, was this like a whole setup for failure type bullshit? That's kind of what it feels like to me, to be honest with you. Well,
and Jeff, to me, it goes like this. We talk about it, right? You're the head coach. You're the head motherfucker in charge. You should know when somebody farts in your building. I'd be like, straight up. I know coaches, man, that they have such a tight schedule that you're sitting there as an assistant and you're like, fuck, bro, like, I know how to do my own job. I know how to do what I'm supposed to do. But to tell me that you gave this guy a leash and then it's coming out that the play calls weren't even made correctly.
Yeah.
That's unsatisfactory to me.
Yeah, I heard like the call was made and then like it was like part of the call and then didn't get the other part. And then Gino would get frustrated and whatnot. So shit like that. Now, this is the thing. I know I'm already here. This could be a smear campaign by the Raiders, into justifying their, them parting ways with a coach. But there has to be some validity to this, because some of the times we're questioning some of these calls. Some of these calls did not make sense. Some of these calls were like, why are we still running like the ball up the middle when we know it's not working? Why aren't we running in between, the tack on the card? Why aren't we running off?
That was on Chip Kelly. I believe that was on Chip.
Shit like that. Or we would go for it on certain, like we were throwing when you were supposed to be running on certain situations, especially when we had a healthier offensive line, right? We still had Colton, we had JPJ, they weren't injured, and we're deciding to go ahead and pass the ball as opposed to running the ball on a 4th and 1 or on a goal line situation. We would call that out constantly. Like, why is the calls being made? So it makes a little bit of sense. I think it's probably 50-50, where it's probably exaggerated. It's probably men out there to kind of, put a little bit of black eye on Chip, but also too, there might be some validity to this because, kind of what we're hearing from Chip's past and whatnot, he probably would be pulling some shit like this. And, he wasn't having a great relationship with the other coaches and stuff like that. And they were getting frustrated as well. So I don't think it's completely bullshit. I think there's some validity to this, but it could be a little bit over exaggerated as well. I don't know. That's my 2 cents on that. But I wanted to bring that up because that was put out there earlier this week, and we didn't really get, me and Jeff really didn't get a chance to kind of address that part. So yeah, it's just crazy, and I'm with Jeff. Like, when did Pete know about this? Like, did he know about this the whole time, and he was just kind of like, well, just like wrap the put the noose around his neck?
If it comes out that he knew about this a few weeks ago, like say like prior to the bye week or whatever, and didn't address it, and it took this long, then that in itself is, you're promoting the self sabotage of this team. Because, and I agree with I never heard this before of an offensive coordinator for a professional football team miscalling plays or calling plays that aren't even in the book. Because then, no wonder Gino looked confused out there half the time because he's calling, ABCD play, and he's like, "What the hell play is that?" And he's looking on his wristband, going, "That the fuck is that? It's not even on my list."
He was getting a half play. Yeah, he was getting a half play, and it's like,
yeah,
I'm like, okay, so
yeah, exactly. So he's coding half the play to him, and then he's just maybe stopping at that, not giving the full thing or giving the wrong part of it. I mean, you don't know what that communication is. I'm curious if the communication in the headset's recorded or not.
No, so let me ask you guys this. Regardless, at the end of the day, do you guys think whether it happened 1 game or 10 games and you didn't know about it, is this a fireable offense? Because you're the head coach. How in the fuck do you not know?
Definitely should be a fireable offense. I honestly would even think, like, to me, when I hear that shit, bro, I'm thinking like, if somebody is deliberately sabotaging games for financial gain, even though I don't want to say that, but that's what I'm thinking. I think once everybody saw that, that's probably what they were fucking thinking, or at least run by your head like, that's some sus shit going on right there. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why are you deliberately calling the wrong plays? Like, it's either you're that much of a dick and you're so bent on sabotaging your fucking team, or it's just like you're trying to go ahead and get a little bit of money on the side where you got like a little system set up. And we just went through some bullshit with like all these other sports, the NBA primarily, where they're doing like gambling type shit, So I wouldn't be surprised if it's something like that along those lines. But that to me came to my mind like really quick. So that's a big accusation. Like, it's either you're fucking around and doing something you're not supposed to, or you're a fucking idiot. That's one of the two things that comes to mind when I'm reading that type of statement. When that story is being put out there, or you just don't like this. You don't like this job. You don't like this situation enough, where you just want to have them fire you to either pay you out a majority portion or a percentage of your contract, and then you can go ahead and walk away from this and right after the sunset and focus on going back to college or doing something else. Like right now, Chip Kelly is in the driver's seat. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. He can either go back to college, he can go to another team in the NFL. I doubt he'll find a place, or he can just go ahead and chill for the next like 3 years.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a hard time getting another NFL job anytime soon. It might be a couple years. He may have to go back to the college ranks again to kind of refine himself, reinvent himself. I know Will mentioned something while I was still in the car on the way home about coaches are guaranteed money and everything. And I know you were talking about the Pete should be fired or not or whatever. I still am a firm believer that he's not going to get fired. I think the option's still going to be given to him out of respect to who he is and what he's accomplished in his career, whether it be college
Right.
or pros. It
Right.
may come down to a wink, wink. How about you retire, or we save face as a team because we don't come back out here again and say shit. They just fired another goddamn coach. You save face for not being fired, and he just comes out and says, you know what, game, because I think the game's passed him by, to be honest with you. I think the game is beyond him now.
Yeah.
So maybe it's time for him to kind of come to grips with this. If this is approached, or if this was offered to him, to say, you know what, I'm going to retire, wink, wink. We'll settle a contract with you. So, we won't pay you the full thing, but we'll work something out. You still get your money and you can ride off into the sunset. You save face.
Right.
You want to be a Hall of Fame possibly in the future. Who knows? This will help you. If you get fired, it could be a negative for you. So I mean, it could come down to that. My biggest thing is it saves us face on the team, the organization, where it doesn't come out that we just fired another goddamn coach. The fourth one in 4 years.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's how I kind of look at it in a way.
This is the
I
thing.
love you.
With that.
I love you
Is
too.
that, I know. Wow. Okay. There's a
I
lot of
got,
love going on around this room.
I got cut
But
up. I'm coming
I'm
now.
gonna cut you off.
Right
I'm gonna cut you off. Hold on. I'm gonna cut you off. This is the thing with what I put out there earlier. He's saying that he's not gonna step down. He's not. And I think when we were talking about this, is that this is not the first time he's going around with this situation. He's dealt with this already in Seattle. And having been put in that same position where it's either like you can put you in this advisory role, well, they're essentially going to shelf him, or you cannot be a part of the team. But you're not, either way, whatever you choose, you're not going to be a head coach in this team moving forward.
I don't even want him in the building. I want him gone.
No,
I
but
want
I'm
every
saying,
single
like,
member of this
I
staff
know
gone.
what you want, but I don't think that's going to translate at the end of the day. I think it might be something ugly.
Guys. All right. I love you guys.
Sorry.
We're going all positive and all woosah. But I'm telling you right now, if Pete Carroll did not know that there was incomplete play calls, and this is absolutely true that's coming out, you need to fire this dude right now because he's that incompetent. Okay? When you're sitting there listening to the play calls and your quarterback is going out there like, bro, I don't know what the fuck is going on. We're taking 10 sacks. And you're sitting there, good job, Pete. Good job, Chip. Good play call.
He did it again today in the presser.
No.
That's
where I'm going
again.
That's why I'm saying we're praising
I do
people.
too.
We're going there, clapping stuff up like a monkey and going out there and doing all sorts of stuff. But then we're going to say, it's okay for you to be incompetent. It's okay for you not to do your job. But then I'm going to expect players to want to come and play for you?
Yep.
Hell no. If he did not know that these play calls were going in incomplete and he does not have complete control of this team as the head coach, get the hell out of there, Pete, because you ain't doing your job.
No, and you're right.
I
didn't even look at it from the incompetent part because, I mean, he should have known, that. But again, like you just said, he did it in the presser today. Thought Gino did a good job type of, that same type of bullshit. It's like, well, is this guy even watching the same game that we're all watching? Because I don't see it. He took 5 sacks again today. I heard you say this too at the start. So that's 15 sacks in 2 weeks, in 2 games. So in 7 days,
sacks.
he's been on his ass 15 times. Get the hell out of here. He's on pace to break like 60 something on the season.
Yeah, for 41. So
no more than that.
Sure, I looked it up. It said, hold on, 41. That's what Google tells me. 41.
No, that's what he's at right now for the year.
No. Well, that's what the team's at. Team overall, the team is at 41 sacks currently.
41 sacks, Jeff.
Yeah,
you're giving up.
We were supposed to be at 68. That was the pace that was put out like
Season not
2
over
months
yet.
ago,
We still got
2 or
some
3 months
tough
ago.
defenses
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah. So this number could skyrocket, but yeah, that's the thing. It's like it's just, to me it looked like a lot of the same shit, and I don't know. At this point, I don't see a point in firing Pete. Write it off until the end of the season, and then deal with it in the off season.
I'm cool
I
with
think
that.
it's gonna be ugly. I think it's gonna be a fucking circus. I think everybody should just prepare themselves, go on a ride. It's gonna be like that fucking crazy. Where we're gonna be going out with, we're probably gonna be showing Pete the door, and be like, you know what? Sorry, bro, you didn't want to take fucking door number 1. Sorry, but it's door number 2 for you. There's no door number 3. There is no option. There's no way that you stay in power with this team, unless if you want to be part of the team, you're going to be an advisory role, or you don't be a part of it at all. I think that's really where they're going to be. Pete's going to be, well, fuck it then. I'm out of here. I'm going to go. All right, cool. Sorry to see you go, Pete, but this is what we got to do.
I I think I conceded to Severe a few weeks ago because him and I had a little major disagreement on Pete Carroll versus not Pete Carroll being the head coach, and I was for Pete. I figured I figured I'd give him the benefit of the doubt. I mean, what do we got to lose? He's an older coach. He's you going to bed? Good night.
Night, guys.
He's an older coach. His experience. I figured it would have been. I thought we'd have a good season with him.
Yeah.
And I conceded to him. I'm like, you know what? You were right. I was wrong. I mean, this has been nothing but a disaster from almost the word go, with him. So was it the right choice at the moment? We all thought it was. Now? Oh, hell no. I'm sorry. This goes back to even the first preseason game with his presser after that. From that point on, I was like, oh, shit, this ain't going to be good. This is what our head coach is saying about one particular room in the facility, the offensive line room. This is what he's saying about these guys, how it's going to take time and all that bullshit. And here we are, and he's still pretty much talking the same thing. Basically, it's like, this isn't going to be a good season. And then I started thinking about it now more recently, because now we're looking to the draft now, because everybody's starting to look at the draft thought process. And
that's the only thing positive we got. Looking forward towards the draft.
But the whole point now I'm trying to get at is the fact that he's already in his first year's done, pretty much. He's got guaranteed 2 more years. I doubt we keep him the phone. So if we bring in a rookie quarterback, you want that rookie quarterback to evolve with your head coach. That ain't going to happen now. And that's what I think I missed when we were discussing this, when we were in the hiring phase, and which is where Severe was pushing that. And I wasn't, I guess, fully grasping that aspect of it. And now I 100% agree with them, because
this is the thing. But this is the thing too. I'm not saying that because I was for Pete, but I didn't think it was what he. I know he was like what he was saying. It wasn't the ageism thing, but even though he was saying it was, but I know what he was trying to say. But this is the thing. There was nobody else that was interviewing for us. That's the shit that everybody else has to understand. It's like, we lost Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson said no. He went to go do his thing. I think we were supposed to get Todd Monken. Todd Monken never came in and did his interview, I believe.
Yeah, no show.
We had Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh came in and interviewed.
And they interviewed him for DC.
I don't know if they interviewed from DC. Maybe they interviewed for both head coach and DC. Somebody else they interviewed. Damn it, I can't remember off the top of my head. Spags. They interviewed Spags. They were not keen on Spags, and I think Brian. I don't know. Maybe they didn't interview Brian Flores.
I don't think they.
They interviewed the DC from Denver, the former DC from Denver. They interviewed a bunch of dudes. Yeah, they interviewed a bunch of dudes, and there was only maybe like a couple of dudes that were like, "Oh, okay, maybe we can kind of work with something." Like I think it was just maybe the DC from Denver. I know were really thinking about Liam Cohen, but that was still kind of like far and away type of thing. But there was really nobody who came in to interview outside from like those people,
And
right?
I'll tell
Which
you,
is like
Tanner
five people.
Yeah, and
Which is like
Tanner
five
Jack just
people.
said it in the chat. There's your main reason right there. Who the hell wants to come here? You got an
Exactly.
unstable situation. Okay, you got a horrible team. Yeah, you got a great draft pick. You're gonna have an early draft pick, but we've got a history of firing coaches. As soon as we see it's not going to work, we're too fast to get rid of them. Now I'm really thinking that AP should have probably gotten another year at this point. Would things have been different? Who knows at this point? Couldn't be much worse. I mean,
It could be. I
he
don't
won
know.
4 games last year. We won
There
2
was,
so far.
yeah, but there was also indecisiveness that he brought in all these guys to come in and console and help him coach and whatnot. But then he had the inability of the same
But
thing.
he still
with
won
not,
4 games.
but
Pete Carroll, an established head coach, Super Bowl
listen,
champions, won 2.
this is the thing. But he still was having an inability to go ahead and really lead. So that goes to show me, like, okay, so what would have been different if he would have stayed this year? I don't know if anything would have been different. Maybe we still would have won 4 games, 3 games, 2 games. I don't know. The fact is like we got something with the woulda, shoulda, coulda. We should have kept this guy. They're not. They're gone. They're gone. My thing is, what are we gonna do moving forward? How are we gonna go ahead and turn this thing fucking around? Because for one, I doubt AP would ever come back. 2, like if everybody wants to go with this young blood, I'm also kind of in that realm. Let's go ahead and try to bring somebody new. This coaching problem is fucked, and the only way you're gonna fix it is by throwing money at it. So Mark, get prepared, buddy. You're gonna have to really, grab them deep pockets because you're gonna have to shell out some money. You're gonna have to go back to that. You have to bring somebody like high profile.
I don't think you need somebody high profile. That's
somebody talented, high profile, whatever you want to call it.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? I think here's the biggest problem with this. One, if you talk about AP and Pete Carroll, they're 2 different people because AP is on the come up as a coach. He's a young guy. He was learning. You can deal with situational football. Pete Carroll is 74 years old. He's already reached his max. He's already past his prime. Okay. So when you look at young coaches like that, what I'm looking at is saying, why not, if you're giving Spytech the reins, give Spytech the reins and tell him, look, I don't give a fuck if you have to go to the college ranks. Bring me somebody young, somebody that you believe in, somebody that you're going to ride with for the next 4 to 5 years. We're going to ride with that guy. We know that we're going to have struggles. The biggest problem is fucking Pete Carroll coming in. Oh, we're going to win a lot. I win everywhere I go. Shut the fuck up, Pete. If you wouldn't have said that, if he would have said straight from the beginning, guys, we're going to build this program. We're going to come in here and we're going to, year 1 is going to be, we're going to battle it out. We're going to be competitive, but we're going to keep growing.
Yeah, we said all
Different
that.
Story.
We said all of that, and that ship is sailed. He was always, I'm going to win. I'm going to win. Yeah. My thing is this, and I want to go ahead and put this out there. I know I said high profile, but I mean, this is what I mean. I mean a young head coach, somebody who's going to innovate, and I think that's kind of the route that a lot of people want to take. A lot of people. Now I'm saying the whole Raider Nation, but the majority wants to. Now because we had the inexperience, we had the guy that came out and took over and won us, a few games while he took over for a terrible regime, and he made something out of nothing, right? He gave us hope. We gave him a shot. Didn't fucking work out. Brass said, "Hey, you're gone, bro. We're gonna restart this whole fucking process of new." We're all like, "Okay, cool. It is what it is." Whether we felt that he should have deserved another year or not, he's gone. We're now at the same point again. How do we fix this? I don't know. How do we fix this? I don't have the answers, and I don't know if anybody has the answers. But I think this is a thing where if you're gonna go ahead and rewrite the ship again, if you're gonna go ahead and retool, rebuild, whatever, you have to do it the right way. You got this motherfucker from the inside and out. Everybody would have to go. let's except for Spy, you can make the case for Spy Tech. If you want to get rid of Spy Tech, I'm not gonna cry over spill milk. But if you're
See, I
gonna
don't
keep him,
think he needs to go anywhere.
yeah. But even if you don't, if you keep him, let him do the hires. And if you don't keep
Yes.
him, bring in the GM that's gonna make the hires for like majority, right? Hire the head coach.
Yeah.
Partner up with their head coach to hire everybody else. That's how everybody else do it. Let's fucking do this the right way. Why are we doing this? And I think it's gonna lead to that, but I think it's gonna be an ugly. I don't know why. I just have a feeling that's gonna be just be ugly, man. I as much as I don't want it to happen, I feel like it's gonna happen. You know,
I'm going to ask you this: if we were to draft a young quarterback next year, do you trust this coaching staff to develop that quarterback?
nope, not
Yes?
this one. We don't even know who our offensive coordinator is going to be.
Yeah.
If we were to draft a quarterback with this coaching staff, because that's what we know so far for next year,
Yeah.
do you trust them to develop a quarterback?
No.
Then
Not with a
why-
70-something-year-old coach. No, not at all.
Then again, if we don't trust them to develop a quarterback, to develop the future, then why are we keeping them? Because obviously we need a guy that's going to be able to develop. Yeah.
That's why I
Shula
say
can be an
you shouldn't
opportunity.
be drafting a quarterback with this with this staff. We shouldn't even think about it.
100%. And that's where we look at it and we say, hey,
I don't
do you
trust them.
even trust any player being
Luke
drafted
Steckel.
and developed by this team? Any player. Tell me any player this year that you have seen that was drafted this year that they have developed and groomed into a premier player.
None. Not even Ashton Genty. Ashton Genty is who he is because of the talent and skill he had. Nothing that's been coached up to him. Nothing. They try to coach up. Remember when Kelly tried to change up his stance? You need to go ahead and bend your knees. You need to be in a different stance. Fucked up his game for the first 2 or 3 games until he changed it back to what he's comfortable with. Then we started seeing
because he did it on his own. He was like,
he did it on his own. He's like, "Fuck you, bro."
I'm just going back to what works for me, and I don't see a problem with that. Let the kid do what he's best. If he's comfortable in a certain stance, if you're a coach and you're breaking down a running back stance before he gets the ball, get out of here. Worry about your offensive line and how they do their stances and how they prepare when they come off the ball. Their feet work is horrible. Their footwork is absolutely atrocious. You know, you got Parham out there looking like a goddamn duck with his feet like this. Yeah. He's off balance half the time. You know, you got your outside tackles getting beat worse than God knows what. You know, there were a few plays today where it's like the safety blitz at one point when he got the sack coming in off the left side. Jesus Christ. Not only that, but the guy came right up the middle untouched too. So if it wasn't the safety blitz getting him from the corner, it was going to be the fucking linebacker just ripping right up the middle. So he was going to get killed either way.
Yeah.
You know, nobody picks up on this. Nobody's got on the offensive line, nobody's got their head on a swivel. They're just so engaged with what their main target is that they don't even pay attention to what's around them. And when they do turn and look towards something, they're totally out of position for it. It's like it's a joke. It drives me nuts.
I'm gonna backtrack just a little bit. I want to get your opinion on this. What do you think about Caleb Rogers today?
He wasn't in long enough.
He played 2 or 3 quarters, right? Well,
I don't think so. I thought somebody said he was in and out because I saw 76 out there at one point, and then all of a sudden I knew he wasn't there
for a while, and then I
don't think he was in as long as you think.
And I saw Mafi in there. I mean, I saw so many different. And this is the thing, right?
But he did well. I can answer. From what I saw, I didn't see any major mistakes. I mean, he's a rookie, so yeah, he's going to get burned a couple of times. You know, but I still think I need to see more to really have a.
Oh yeah, we definitely need to see more. We only saw we finally at least got to see something, but it was very minimal, and it's hard to base a real accurate assessment. I was telling Will at the beginning of the show is I didn't hate what I saw. There was instances where he got his block, and then he was looking who else to block, and then he would either chip the guy to his right or left. Usually it was to a guy to his right, so he was assisting Glaze on
Yeah.
his guy because he's the one who's struggling more, right? But you saw him because as soon as I located, like, oh shit, he's actually playing. Let me go ahead and just kind of keep an eye on the snaps. So I saw that for about a quarter and a half, and then like I got distracted with like everything else going on in my house. So I'm like, whatever. So I lost track of him a little bit. But when I did see him, I didn't see him really get burned. I saw like the left side get burned, or I saw like Glaze get burned, but like him specifically, not really. And then maybe there was maybe that the one that came up the middle. Maybe that was it. I don't know. I don't know if he was in or not, but I kind of like what I saw.
If I was home watching the game, I would have been able to key on it a little bit more. But because I was with the chapter watching the game, you know, you're talking with people and everything, and it's tough to really sit and concentrate on the game itself. So I kind of miss some of that stuff. I mean, I'll probably rewatch it tonight after this game's over when we're done here.
This is what I'm saying, Rorschach. Yes, Shula with Mike LaFleur as OC. That will be a fucking dynamite.
LaFleur's from the Rams, right? Isn't he the guy with the Rams?
LaFleur, so that's Matt's little brother. Yeah, that's Matt's little brother. But Chris Shula is a grandson of Don Shula, right? And but more importantly, it's like he's also, you know, been behind Sean McVay for the last few years. So that's a win-win situation.
I got no problem with anybody coming from the McVay tree, that's for sure.
Throw money at it, Mark. Just like throw money, throw money. Here's the Brinks truck. Would that be okay to start you off? Okay, bro. Like we're just gonna roll the pieces. Yeah, back up the Brinks truck, bro. Like you might need to like make it rain at Henderson or something.
But guys, then we'll go back to this. Does this really fix all our problems? Just getting a new coach and then doing the same thing again?
No, we still have no talent. We still have no talent. We got too many holes to fill.
So that's where I'm
this would be a big task for whoever comes in.
Absolutely.
I mean, we might as well be an expansion team at this point. That's what it feels like. You know, you bring in another new coach, and I don't want anybody from this current coaching staff left. I want them all fucking gone. I don't want a single soul left behind. If I'm going to give way to one person, it would probably be Philbin would be the only one. The rest
I'm not even giving way to Philbin.
I think you would have to I think you would have to just cut it completely to like make it work. You know, there shouldn't be no continuity left. Like whatever continuity, the players are gonna have to be brand new. So everybody's gonna have to start fresh. You have to start fresh, and I think probably that's gonna be the only way to move forward effectively, right? But again,
if you have any hope, if you have any hope of progressing in the future, you've got to start completely fresh. And this is going to be almost a teardown. And if it means we lose certain players, we lose certain players. You know, what are you going to do? You know, we have to start fresh at some point, and we have to be willing as fans to be okay with that and to have patience for something to build. You know, we can't just be this, oh, we're 1-15 this year, 1-16 this year. We got to fire the coach. No, stop that shit. That's the other thing, you know. But obviously, this isn't a long-term answer with Pete Carroll. There's no two ways about it.
Yeah,
you know?
I love that answer. Right, he's not a long-term answer.
No.
I'm going to tell you guys.
He never was. He never was, bro. In that sense, he's only here for 3 years.
Caleb Rogers, you said? I'm going to tell you something, Jay. Greg Olsen needs an applause. Where's the applause button? Give me the applause button, because this motherfucker played the rookies. He played the rookies. Woo! Finally starting to look at what we can do, what we have, what we can build in the future, and guys that we can use that want to play. I mean, like, there were some guys out there, and I know you guys saw it, that quit on plays. They quit. We don't need that. We need guys that are hungry. We need guys that want to be out there to play and want to get there. And he proved, Caleb Rogers proved that he's out there to try to get better, to try to get those reps, and to try to get on that team next year.
I
Yeah,
think he did enough today to start next week with no
Oh
questions
yeah,
asked.
100%. He looked like the dude that wanted to be
Mm.
out there and like wanted to take advantage of his opportunities. He's like, "Fuck you guys! If you guys don't want to fucking play, you guys want to let Gino just get fucked up. Cool, that's on you, bro. I'm gonna do my job. I'm gonna go out there and just like play my fucking heart out." And that gives me that little JPJ influence. Like he looked a little bit like JPJ in the influence part where he was just looking like, "Who else am I gonna hit?" He was just looking, and
And that's what you want.
yes, there's still a lot of work on Caleb. A lot of work. Don't
But
get me wrong. Nowhere
this
near
did?
JPJ.
Yeah,
But
you know what this did for him today, for
Mm.
Caleb Rogers? The fact that he got the I guess I guess you would say the approval of Olsen to get out there and start on the O line, but that gave him such a confidence boost as a player, a rookie. You're finally getting your chance to show your worth and to your value of being that third round pick. You know, that's a huge boost to this kid's ego, his confidence. If you don't think he's going to be a practice warrior this week, to where they notice and say, all right, well, you know what? Based on what you did on Sunday and what you've done this week in practice, based on Pete Carroll, because it all depends on what they do in practice. Remember that. If they look good in practice, they play. He should be starting next week too.
Mhm.
And for longer. He should be in there a hell of a lot longer than what he was today, because he didn't play a lot, if I remember correctly.
He did not play a lot. He did
Yeah,
not
because
play a lot.
I made sure I remembered what number he was, and I saw 76 out there because Jason Down sent me a text when I was leaving the house. He goes,
Yeah.
Caleb Rogers
So
is
he
playing.
started the
So I'm like,
game. Yeah, he started the game, and then like I guess they were just taking him in and out periodically and stuff.
which is fine if you want to phase him in that way. But I think next week he earned the right to start it again and to be in there for even longer. Let's see what this
I would
kid
like
can
to. I would like to see also the same thing from Charles Grant. Just put him in like periodically. You don't have to start him. That one you can probably reel back a little bit more, but at least start giving him opportunities. I want to address this comment real quick from Raider Nation. It says you guys want us to start fresh, mainly for your mental health. We already started building. Year one is finding out what you have, what you do and don't have. Pete was already was here to steady the ship. Takes time, and this is the thing, brother. I don't agree with your statement for the reason being is that he has said openly he does not want to do that. He wants to win, and there's a certain point where there's certain actions that you would have to take to go ahead and make that happen. He has not shown that interest. He's not shown an interest to see what he has in certain draft picks. Now, I'm not saying go play all the 6 round picks. I'm saying you drafted guys in the first, second, and third round. These guys are not being utilized. Why aren't these guys being utilized? Usually, those guys in those first 3 rounds are either starting or rotational pieces, but they're getting burned.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Bash didn't really get burned until like I think week 6 or something like that.
Yep.
Thornton was getting a lot of the burn for whatever reason because they felt like he was going to be the guy. After week 2, we knew that this guy has problems catching, but we knew that coming in, and we're like, all right, maybe he's doing great in practice, but it's not translating on the field. And that's a problem. And Pete is too stuck in his ways to go ahead and correct that. That's really what it is, bro. It's like he's not doing the things to correct himself to do X, Y, and Z to improve this team. It really feels a lot of it feels ego driven. A lot of it feels like he just wants to go ahead and save face and try to go ahead and say, look at me, I'm right, my shit worked. It took fucking 10 years to work, but it worked finally. We can't operate that way. We can't operate a whole, a 2-15 season looking that way. We at this point we knew that we weren't going to make the playoffs, but we were hoping to look at least a little bit better. 7-10, 8-9, 6-12, whatever that looked like, or 6-11, whatever that looked like. But this is just progressively worse, bro. And that's why everybody's just like, you gotta get the dude out because it feels like he's over the hump, bro. He's past his prime. I think the game has kind of left him behind. When you're running a defense that's outdated, that's kind of a key indicator right there because the league is playing a different type of defense. And if you can't get that basic stuff, like like on point, there's something wrong. So we don't know whether this shit with Chip is a smear campaign. We don't know if it's true. We think there's some truth to it on both sides. We think Chip wanted to run it one way, and then he wanted to run it another, and both sides were just it just didn't work out. It's just totally wrong to begin with.
Yep.
That's where we're at now.
So
Uh,
let me ask you guys this: how bad do you guys want the Giants to win tomorrow night?
I think at this point, I really want them to win, and
Because if they win, we move up to number 3.
yes, and I was about to go ahead and put that up real quick. I'm gonna
Sorry,
go ahead
I
and
might
give
have jumped
everybody.
ahead.
No. Yeah, there's no order. There's no order.
Because the Jets winning today helped.
Yes. Let me go ahead and put that up real quick. So let's go ahead and kind of update on Tankathon here, and I'm gonna go ahead and put this up real quick for everybody. Go ahead and see. So, guys, everyone, we are currently number 4 in the draft order. Tennessee's on top with the number 1 overall pick with a record of 1-11. We're tied with New Orleans.
It's not on the screen.
Giants. Oh, it's not on the screen. Oh shit, my
No.
bad. I forgot that this. I have to click another button, and let me take this off.
There you
All
go.
right, so we're currently number 4 in the standings. Number 1 is Tennessee with 1-11. We're tied with New Orleans, the Giants, at 2-10, but because of strength of schedule, we are number 4. New Orleans at number 2, Giants at number 3, and then we are number 4. So if the Giants win tomorrow, we jump to number 3.
I want the Giants to win anyway because I hate the fucking Patriots, but I don't
There you
think
go.
that's
I do too. So that'll be a win-win. And technically, I heard that the Giants kind of rip more on the Jersey side. So there you go. I love Jersey. Shout out to Jersey. Shout out to my peeps out in Jersey.
I'm going to tell you
Not
like this.
Jazzy.
And to me, whether we move up to 2 or 3 doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter because at the end of the day, do we have the guys on the staff in order to develop the players that we can get at 3, at 4, at 2? Are we going to get the right guys? Are we going to use them? Those are the things that I'm looking at because, hey, from this year's draft, you cannot tell me that we have done a service to any single draft pick that we draft.
I get what you're saying, but my thought process on this is the higher the draft pick we get, the more we can get in return if we trade down, is what I'm looking at. I'm not looking to grab a player at number 2 or number 3 because I don't think we're going to finish it with the number 1 pick. I think Tennessee's just that bad. They're not going to win a game either, like us. I think it just makes it more valuable what we can get in return for trading away that. Say it's the number 3 pick overall versus if we had the number 7 or 8, we might not get as much as a return. But a team that really wants somebody that's in that top 3 will be willing to probably give up the fucking house for it. And if that means we can gain an extra first round the next year, swap their first round as this year, get a second, possibly a second round next, who knows what you can get? The options are endless, really. If a team wants somebody that bad in that first 5 picks, they're going to do what they can to move up. If that's the person they think is going to push their team over the edge to help them win a bowl, then that's what they're going to do. They're going to be willing to give it up. Teams do crazy shit. Coaches do crazy shit, and so do some GMs, and if we get phone calls looking for it, they better not just chuck it off and say, oh, no, we're taking so-and-so. You better look at the big picture. We need a lot of bodies. We got 20-something free agents again. We got a lot of decisions to make at the end of this season. Some we do want to see come back. Some we don't want to see come back. So we've got some serious holes to fill. And if we want to rebuild the team, we need as many fucking picks as we can possibly get. Early picks, too. Not like, 7, 6 rounders, shit like that. We need more first, second, third. Guys that can have an impact on this team.
And that's the thing. It all depends also on whether Pete's here or not. All that shit is dependent on whether he's here or not. Because obviously he's gonna have a say in how this draft is gonna go. And I don't feel like a quarterback's gonna be in that deck of cards. So like who was saying this earlier? Yeah, see, Leaky's like, if P's still here next season alongside Gino, prepare. Just saying, and it's true, 100%. I don't feel like we're gonna be able to draft good like the way we should. And John Spytek is gonna be able to go ahead and put a pretty decent draft, but I don't think we're gonna be getting the stuff that we need, and that's a detriment to this team. And that's how we stay in this kind of like fucking cesspool of hell. We're not going to be able to go ahead and continually try to get better. Honestly, at this point, I'm trying to get at least grasp mediocrity again. So from there, we can just fucking jump to the next one to be average, or to be above average, right? To be a contender. But there's steps to this thing, and like you said it, I've said it as well. We need to build this offensive line, right? We're finally starting to see what we potentially may have. So that's gonna take until the end of the year to us to fully say, like, hey, Caleb Rogers is a good dude. Like, this is a dude that we might have something here. Definitely need to fucking keep him. Now we need to go ahead and get some more linemen. We either replace Glaze, or get the next replacement for Glaze, get another, get a backup for Colton, or whatever, and so on and so forth, and not really put that quarterback in the limelight in forefront. Because if you don't get a quarterback within the first 3 rounds, I think we're just going to continue on the same trajectory. It's just like we're going to have these, 4-13, 5-12, 6-11 seasons, and really getting us nowhere. And I don't know. I mean, it's Raider Nation to see how long we can go ahead and be patient. We've been fans for a very long time. We don't know any better. But some of these younger fans, that's the thing, right? I just don't know where we go with Pete. The question always is going to fall until Pete, and we're not going to know that answer until like mid-January, whether he stays or goes.
All I know is I plan on being there in person when we pick our picks. So I'll be in Pittsburgh.
There you go.
I'm fucking going.
Let's go.
That's all I care about.
But I'll be like, so I'll say it like this, right? And I saw some of the chat going by and people talking about the continuity and why you guys are talking about firing Pete already and you want to start out fresh and build with the new coach and do all this other crap. Guess what? If we keep Pete, what are we looking at? I'm like, you're telling us to keep Pete so we can keep continuity, so we can keep the continuity of mediocrity, so we can keep the continuity of not developing, so we can keep the continuity of being a 2-15 team that's not getting any better, that gives up 15 fucking sacks in 2 games. And that's absolutely right. We don't need a quarterback. We need 15 fucking linemen if we need. We need fucking 30 of them. We need so many things that this guy has not
starters,
addressed.
bro.
Exactly. So there's so many things that he hasn't addressed. And for him to come out and say, hey, we're going to win a lot in our first year. That is the problem. He's not saying I want to develop for the future. He's not saying I want to make this team better in the future. Everything for him right now is the talking about winning right now. Mm-hmm. And if you're not winning right now at 74 years old, Pete, I don't know how many years you got left to win next year, because I don't know if he'll make it to next year. And that's just the fact. So I'll be like, guys, I love that we're talking about the draft, that we're looking into this. But at the end of the day, unless we get guys that can develop these players that are coming in to fulfill these roles, to get all this stuff done, then we ain't got shit. Because we don't have anybody that's going to develop players, and we're not going to bring in players that are going to be worth the shit unless we're overpaying every single one of them. And that's why the Raiders are stuck in mediocrity. Because we think that bringing in players from other systems is what's going to solve it. No, what's going to solve it is that we draft players, we develop our own players, and we have depth at every single position with guys that we put with our brand that play the way that you want to build them, not the way that they're coming from somewhere else. And that's the thing that we miss. We don't have an identity. The Raiders don't know who they are. We don't play good defense. We don't run the ball. We can't pass. We don't have a special teams. Tell me what this team has to hang their hat on, and what Pete Carroll has identified as an identity for this team.
I got nothing.
I got nothing.
You can't give him credit for Brock Bowers because he was here a year before him. You know, what has he done since he's been here that's been like, oh shit, that was a good move. All right, maybe Jamal, maybe Devin White, but I got nothing else out of that. Can't give him credit for Max. Can't give him. You can give him credit for Genty, but how good is Genty really? We don't even know how good this kid is.
Yeah.
You know this poor kid, and I feel bad for him because any other team, he'd probably be the top guy for the rookie of the year. This kid's got no shot on this team being the rookie of the year. It's not going to happen now. Absolutely not. You know, if we had a decent offensive line, this kid, not even just an average offensive line. I'm not even talking about a top-notch offense, just an average one.
Yeah.
Which average would have been about what we had last year on the second half of the season and maybe a little bit better. Genty would have like 1,400 yards rushing by the end of the season with no problem. It would be no big deal because we can make those holes in the A gaps and he can run inside the tackles if we were blocking right. Can't do that with this ragtag bunch. So what are we doing? We're forced to run him to the outside or these little dump off passes to him. That's where we're getting the best out of him.
Mm-hmm.
We're not getting the best out of him where we really should be getting it is those runs up the middle. You know? What the fuck? This poor kid, I feel, but no wonder he looked like shit last week when he scored that touchdown, went and sat on the bench. He looked pissed off. He looked pissed off again today, too.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, I feel bad for this kid. I'm sure when he got drafted, he was like, oh, this is going to be great. You know, his first meet up when he goes to the headquarters, he meets Gorilla Really, he meets the Violator. You know, Tom Brady's there. It's got all this mystique with the Raiders organization and the history
New
and everything.
organization, yeah. New coaches,
you know, and then this is what he's with now. You know, he's like, this is all a facade. This is all smoke and mirrors right now. You know, they put on a great show at the start of this, made me feel good, and now here I am, score a touchdown, I go sit on the bench, and I'm pissed off. You know, because this team has no identity, has no functionality to it. You know, it's just
that's why, Jeff, when I go like this, then I said, hey, what do we hang our hat on? And when fucking Pete Carroll comes out and says, we're going to run the football and play good defense, have we done any of that?
No.
So tell me why. Tell me why people look at Pete Carroll, you know, saying, oh, he should give him another year. This is where I'm saying, hey, I get that we should give a guy another year, but you should see something. You should hang your hat on something and say, hey, you know what? I see there's a possibility of something happening in the future. Tell me one thing that we can say that he's developing for the future.
Look who's the number one seed right now in the playoffs for the AFC. Look and see who it is.
Broncos.
No, it's not. Even if they win tonight, it's not them.
Or it's New England.
Yeah, and what do they have? They have 3 rookies that are producing extremely well. You've got 2 rookie offensive linemen playing on the left side by side, a rookie left guard and a rookie left tackle. You got a running back that, he didn't get in there at the very beginning of the season, but since he's been there, he's already surpassed what Genty's done in 12 games. You know, so this kid's playing phenomenal. Why is it they can easily evolve and adapt to their, you know, with their 3 rookies? We can't even get out of our own way with our rookies. You know, we can't even get our rookies on the field on a consistent basis.
Yep.
You know, we can't get the offensive lineman out there till today. You got a second round wide receiver that's barely on the field, but when he's there, he produces, but we never get him back out there again. So figure that one out. Then you get a guy we got in the 4th round that everybody thought was the next Megatron, who's turned into be a complete bust, in my opinion. I don't think he ain't worth the shit. You know, we ran through numbers last night on our show with Thornton and Betch and everything, and the percentage per targets and catches. Thornton's horrible. You know who the number 1 is on our roster for the percentage of targets and how many catches?
It's Brock, right?
No.
Ashton Genty.
Yeah. It's not even a goddamn receiver or tight end. It's our running back. He's at 80%. Brock is right behind him in the 70s, but Genty's at 80%. That just tells you how good this kid can be if we use him in a different way. You know, so your other rookies that you brought in that were going to be so great. So Betch has a better percentage than Thornton, and he's got a hell of a lot less targets and catches than Thornton.
A lot less. Even today, today was the first day where actually that number flipped. So he has 3 targets, 2 catches. I think Thornton had 2 catches, 2 targets, 1 catch because he only had one for like 11 yards. So today finally flipped, and that's the thing. And even the announcers, I remember them highlighting like, "Oh, Jack Fish, you know, he's finally getting some targets or big catch." Like he came through on very specific 3rd down situations, and I've been screaming for that all season long. Like, get Jack Fish involved on 3rd down situations. He's going to be your guy who's going to be able to catch. He's supposed to be the Jacoby replacement. Has great hands, can make these plays, but you're not utilizing him. And I think this is where we find, and this is again, I don't know how much influence Greg Olsen has, or he's going to start trying to implement so he can start running things the correct way. And that's what I want to, the correct way. I don't think that he has his own way. You know, of course, everybody has their own way, but I think it's more just like basic football concept shit. Like it's the basics. I think that's what he's just trying to go ahead and implement. So hopefully he does that. But we finally got to see Jack Betch involved. We got to see
and
some of these other rookies involved. Yeah.
And the thing with Betch is if you throw him the ball, if you put it where he can catch it, he's gonna catch it. He's a possession receiver. He's gonna catch the goddamn ball. And most of his catches have been a good chunk of them have been for 1st downs too. You know, Thornton, you just better hope you put the ball in his chest that he can hopefully catch it, because if it's anywhere outside of this space, he ain't going to get it. Because he ain't going to also, either way, he's not going to out-muscle anybody because the guy's built like a stick figure. That boy needs some muscle on him. He needs to drink some milk.
Oh, jeez, bro.
He is so small. He's tall. He can jump, but he ain't no DK Metcalf out there. He ain't going to be taking the ball away from anybody.
And that's the thing. He's not jumping for the ball. And
no.
At first, I was like, okay, but this guy might have some potential, but he's not doing the things that's making him shine or making him like make that statement even, you know, valid. You know, that's my fault. And I gotta eat fucking crow for that, for like kind of listening into the hype from what was said during. This is all coming from training camp. Training camp, the Raiders were hyping, but this guy's like phenomenal. He's doing all this shit in practice, but when it came down to the field, he wasn't really doing much, and so that was a fluff. There was just a lot of fluff behind it, you know. He was getting more fluff than a fucking dude getting ready to go and do a porn video, you know. It was that time, bro.
Hey.
I don't have a drum roll, but I had to throw in that one.
But let me tell you like this. Doesn't it seem like that every season? Every season you hear the beat reporters going, "Oh, this guy looks really great in practice." And you know what? In AOC,
so I take all that shit with a grain of salt.
And that's why I think a lot of people take a lot into that. And they go like, "Oh, well, he looks great in practice." Well, I'm like, if he looks great in practice, are you watching this practice? Are you there physically? Oh, no, a beat reporter's telling you.
Yeah.
And that's where it's difficult, man, because you could look I could look good in practice against this defense. The way they played today, My 40-year-old ass could go out there and probably get a couple first downs. I mean, like we're playing some soft ass coverage. Lonnie Johnson, I mean, missed a tackle on Vidal 1-on-1, bro. 1-on-1. You're the safety.
Yeah.
You can't even break down to make a tackle. And why are you out there if you can't make that tackle?
Nobody knows how to tackle. The best tackle I saw today was Chin at like the line of scrimmage when he I forget who was he even tackling.
Jeremy
He just,
Chin
like,
came to play.
he just like pile drove.
He tackled Herbert. He tackled Herbert and he fucked up Herbert. And Herbert got to come out with that fucking glove cast or glove splint. And it did change a little bit of the outcome of the game. Well, I thought it was going to be able to at least see if we can take that as an advantage or an opportunity to be able.
Well,
to
we
take
were getting to him a little
that.
more after that.
We're getting to him a little bit more, but yeah, too. Still, it comes down to offensively, we couldn't do a whole lot. You know, like it was just still a struggle in that department. So you also have that part. It was still. It looked a little bit better, but it was still a lot of the same old shit that we're just used to seeing, and we're not. We just improved from like straight horse shit to like dog shit. No, like there's an improvement level. At least we can see that.
10%.
Yeah,
You said the 10%.
The 10%. The 10%. I got my 10%.
But
so
let me tell you like this.
my thing with the Herbert with his hand is we had a chance to take advantage of something and we just didn't do it. Because if you want, he was handing off with his right hand for a running back coming up his right side, which is the opposite of what he's supposed to be doing because he can't use his left hand. If you noticed after that first series that he was out there doing that, handing off with his right, they switched the running back to the left side and they were running plays off that side. So we knew they could only run this way. Why are we not making adjustments on the defense to stuff that side, to do what we can to get in and wreak havoc back there? Because now he can hand off the right way with his right hand. Can't use his left off his right side. So why are we not picking up on that? Why is there nothing being highlighted on that end? The other is, too, he can't do like most quarterbacks do when they pat the ball because his hand was hurting so bad, he couldn't even do that. So how much does that affect the quarterback? I guarantee that affects timing because sometimes they use that as like a mechanism to count time. You know? So why weren't we taking advantage of that? I will say the defense did get in there a little bit more after Herbert came back after the hand issue, but it still wasn't enough. We still couldn't stop them. And then I just don't get why we don't make proper adjustments. You see a weakness, go for it. What the fuck? Why is it we as fans see this and they, for some reason, don't see this? I don't get it.
So, Jeff, I know what you're saying there, and I'm going to tell you something. Us playing some soft-ass fucking cover 3 defense, that soft-ass baby poop that you fucking get so many fucking yards straight up off the line, us not bringing pressure, us going after them, right? But making Justin Herbert look like fucking Dan Marino. I mean, the guy was completing 3rd down 15, no problem. 3rd down and 10, no problem. The problem is, if the front side is working hard, the back side fucking doesn't play well. Our defense is fucking horrendous. We can't get 11 players to play as a unified team, to have continuity, to all of them be on the same page for the life of us. If you look at it defensively, man, we're holding them to 3rd down. And on a fucking screen. On a fucking screen, we'll give up 3rd and 15. On a little dunk play, we'll give up 10 yards. And you can't tell me that Ty Blue Kelly or that whoever we put out there, because ain't nobody covering. I don't see anyone. All I see is completions. I get it. Ty Blue Kelly had 1 interception. Woo!
That's what I said during when we were watching it. I said, "Hey, he got an interception, but you still suck."
I know, me too. I was like, you still have a lot more work too. Like, you know,
I'm like, congrats, you got an interception. Yes,
right.
But you still suck out there.
Why do we continuously put these guys out, not put in other guys that we can develop? but we want to say put the same guys in, but get a different result. Don't work that way.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. That's been the problem all year long. Is like you're trying to do the same thing and expect different results. That's also a different definition of insanity, And I'm trying to do different things. Really, some of these things are basic. You're just trying to be. You're trying to do a lot. You're being too much, and that's the problem with Pete Carroll. He's just so stuck in his ways. He doesn't know anything different. So I don't know if that part's going to change from him. I don't expect it to change from him, and this is another reason why a lot of people are saying he needs to just go. Um, and again, I pointed out we pointed out a lot of facts on why that case is definitely made. These are fireable offenses. These are offenses that being on a different team, they're not going to put up with that. You know, I don't care. I don't care like what it is, and that's fucked up. That's why I think that's why it pisses me off so much is that he's forcing our hand to go through this again, and it's not fair for us. It's not fair for Raider Nation. We try to do it the right way, and it's like we just have to continue to get fed this bullshit and this dog shit of a team and performances and just like terrible out there. This was one of the better games that I've seen in the last 5 weeks, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Aside from the Jaguar game, unless
Yeah.
well, in the last 3 weeks, I should say, right? Aside from the Jaguar game, we still lost. We still lost for it's a 3-point deficit, 3-point loss. But some of the stuff we can at least start to build towards the next few games, right? And continue. Hopefully, this will give a little bit of ammunition to Greg Olsen. He can start playing. He can put in guys like Charles Grant. He can give target to guys like Jack Besh out there, and be able to utilize Genty in the right way. Hopefully, that's the case. And on the other side of the ball with Tonka and JJ Pegues and Porter, that's a different story. I don't think you're going to get a lot of headway, because P has so much control, especially on that side of the ball. At least with the offensive side, you can make a little bit of that case. Like, hey, you know what? I've been doing it for a while. You know how I rock, yada, yada, yada. He has a little bit more sway than he would with Chip. So, I don't know. Hopefully, good things pan out from there. But we had a little bit of draft talk. Whatever that comes out to
tonight.
We cover a lot of shit. Yeah, I kind of stacked it from from head to toe a little bit. But let's go. I'll move into this part. If you guys have like any final thoughts, anything that you guys kind of want to go ahead and share.
What's up, Israel?
As far as this game, 5 games left to go in the season. The nightmare is almost over, y'all. We can look at least, I guess, look towards the off season, but we don't know how that's even gonna look like. If it's gonna look any prettier. Final thoughts for you guys.
I'm gonna pull Jerry Maguire and say, "Show me the rookies." Hey, that's what I want to see. I want to see the young guys come out there. I want to see what they can do. I want to see what we can do for the future. If you're really looking forward to working with this team and building this team in the future, Pete, for next year, if you really want to be the head coach, you got to see what you got. Put in the rookies, put in the guys that you want to see. I'm tired of the old guys. I don't want to see Alex Kappa out there anymore. I don't want to see Gino Smith. I don't want to see these guys that we don't see a future with. Put the guys that you think you can build for the future, see what you got, and let's ride. Because at the end of the day, you have to have some hope for the future, and you have to show this team that you want to develop them to win, and you want to make this into a winner. And that's how we're going to do it. Not with a bunch of old guys that have already been consistently losing and doing the same thing. It's by going into your youth, by seeing what you got, by seeing what you have to draft for the next year, and looking forward towards the future. That's the one thing that I will say. I'd be like, if Pete wants to really be the head coach next year, focus on the young guys, focus on your future, because that's where the money's at. That's where your winning is going to come from. not from the guys that have been there with the losing mentality, with the losing culture.
What about you, Jeff?
Carlson didn't miss any kicks today.
That's fun.
That's positive. I said this last night. I heard Will talk a little bit about it too. He brought up the commitment to excellence. We need to get back to that because right now it's a dead phrase. Because you don't hear anybody saying commitment to excellence. Why? Because it's a lie right now. We're not committed to anything. We're not even committed to mediocrity. We're committed to complete crap. You know, we're committed to not putting players out there that should be out there. We're not committed to the fan base who this team owes so much to, that we're still here no matter how bad they get. I want us to get back to where we're using the commitment to excellence, where the team is oozing that commitment to excellence and the bleeding the silver and black. You know, that the fans are the only ones that are proving any type of commitment to anything. We're committing to ourselves, to our other fan groups, our booster clubs, our TBH chapters. We're committing to that. We're committing to to the fan base. We're doing what we can to keep us sane, I would say. Like Philly, I'm going to the Philly game. I don't even have tickets to it yet. If I get tickets, great. If I don't, I'm pretty much going there so I can meet up with people I haven't met yet, because I know there's a whole Oakland crew coming out here for this. I'm meeting up and I'm spending time with people I've already met when they came out here for the Patriots game. That's what it's all about. You know, because I know I'm not going to see a great game from us out there against Philadelphia. Granted, Philly doesn't look that great right now, but still, I mean, it's going to be cold, it's going to be nasty, and it's a East Coast trip for the Raiders. So we don't do very well on the East Coast travels. So I want to get us back to that commitment to excellence. So that saying means something again, because right now it doesn't mean a goddamn thing. And when was the last time you heard anybody say it? Have you even heard anybody really say it beyond maybe
from the front office, the building? No,
I haven't heard anybody say it.
An apology or something.
Yeah. It's a dead saying right now. It means absolutely ugats. It means nothing. It's a 100%. Dead fucking phrase. Yep. Let's get 100%. Back to. I want the team to get back to where we can use that again, where it makes
100%. 100%. Yes, I just want us to.
What's up right away?
I just want us to head back to a way that we can go ahead and start being relevant and be taken seriously, bro. Nobody takes us seriously at this point. Now you be competitive, but take us seriously.
We don't even take ourselves serious. How can we
even take ourselves exactly
100%?
That's my take. So, I just want us to get to that back to that form, whatever that looks like. I don't know whether without Pete. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be without Pete, and it's gonna be ugly. But hey, it is what it is.
It's gonna be a lot of work.
It's gonna be a lot of. It is gonna be. It's always gonna be. It's always been a lot of work. But the thing is, there's little pieces. If there's a silver lining, the silver lining is this. There's little pieces already here. There's somebody has to be competent enough, who has to have the drive and has the passion to want to fix this and make this, because this is a project in itself, and you have to have that person come in and really put their fingers in the thing and really build this out. Somebody said earlier, you got to the whole rebuilding, retool, whatever. Building is a key word. That's the root word. You have to build this out.
And you have to feel like you're building. That's the thing, Jay. You said such a key thing. It's not going to be easy. It's going to take a long time. But Raider Nation has been patient in mediocrity. If they start seeing that we start stacking at least 1 or 2 wins a year, Raider Nation will be patient, because you're seeing wins, because you're seeing progress. Yeah. But when you don't see any progress and all you do is see regression,
or even if you don't see the wins right away, and sometimes those wins don't come right away. Sometimes they do take a year to develop. you could you can do the visual test from the
Yes.
gameplay. If these games were
Yes.
tight, if these games were competitive, where you're battling back and forth, and you lost these games by a field goal, a touchdown, where they were that close, not getting blown out 31-0, not getting blown out by like 20 plus points, that would be a different fucking story. And that's why we're saying we are worse. We look worse than we were last year. That has to change. That's why the argument for Pete not being here next year is so strong because of that. There has
Yes,
been
sir.
no improvement forward. To give him this man another year time to try to figure it out and try to improve things, where he had this year at least to like lay the base foundation to either get us to the same point we're at last year or slightly better. And if he hasn't done that, that goes to show he's not the one for this job. That's just what it is. The writing's on the wall. You guys can either accept or you don't. That's just how it boils down to. And I think this regime knows it. And I think this regime is gonna get ready to go ahead and put it in a way and make some tough decisions this off season that we're gonna have to go through this whole mess again. And it sucks. It sucks. It's gonna suck. But hey, gotta do it. I just hope if they just do it, just get it all done and over with. Don't hesitate. Got everything. Start from new. Well, we're with you, but be real with us. Don't feed us the horse shit. Don't feed us a line of bullshit and expect us to like buy into it now. Because now you've already used that card up. You can't that card is done with. So everything is going to be scrutinized. Everything is going to be taken with a grain of salt from the majority of the fan base. That's just common nature. So I just hope they do it the right way. So
Yes,
we'll
sir.
see what happens.
Agreed.
Got the Broncos the following week on December 7th. We're hosting them in Vegas. We'll see how that goes. Me, Jeff, Leo, and Nate, we're going to go ahead and break all that down. The preview show on Wednesday coming up. So make sure you guys go ahead and pull up for that one. That's going to be, again, same bad channels, different bad times. It's going to be, let's say, 7 p.m. Pacific. Might be a little bit sooner on the
Let's say.
Let's say. I don't know. We haven't come in an agreement. We say 6, then we say 7. I don't know. I'm going to just say 7. We've been running with 7 the last few weeks, so we're going to say 7. If it's earlier, cool. We'll let everybody know. Make sure you guys go ahead and pull up. Tap into each my channel, Jeff's channel, and then obviously my guy, Will's channel, Silverback Radio Podcast. We're going to go ahead and talk about what you guys have lined up for the week, upcoming shows. Let me go ahead and find the banner for it. But what do you guys have coming up as far as in shows?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead and go first.
All right. Y'all already know what it is, baby. On Tuesday night, we got the most notorious podcast. It's going to be myself, Raider Jeff. We got Cheeto Linus. We got our boy James. We got the whole Black Hole United. We're going to be talking the game. We're going to be doing all sorts of stuff, man. Then we got the Puro Raiders and Silver and Black remix on Fridays at lunch. We usually get together, man. We chop it up with Leo. We have a good time talking football. We'll have the Silver and Black Radio podcast on Thursday night. And hopefully Jeff lets me in on his show on Friday night for the night drop.
I'm going to tell him
He
to
doesn't
block
kick
you.
me
Block
out.
that man. Block that man. Boo that man.
And then we'll be on the post game, probably chopping it up again next Sunday night after the Broncos game. So y'all stay tuned, man. It's gonna be a good week, man. How?
It's gonna be another madness, I bet, bro. I have a feeling it's gonna be like another one of these. It's like, fuck me. Can't get away from this shit.
For me, I will be on tomorrow morning with Chris Ferreira doing our Monday morning quarterback, 12:45 p.m. Eastern time, and that is 9:45 Pacific time. Obviously, you already know about Tuesday night. Will already said that, and Jay's already said about Wednesday night with the Raider Connection. But on Thursday night, it's myself and LV Raider 10 doing our Raiders Coast to Coast show, and Friday night is the Friday night mic drop live pull-up show that myself and Chris Ferreira has been doing for a long time now. So make sure you guys check that out. If you want to put your voice let your voice be heard instead of being in the chat, that's the time to do it. You can come on, get on the show, get on the microphone, bring up your camera, and speak to the nation. So Friday night's always a fun
100%.
night.
Friday night.
And I send Will invites. It's just that sometimes he doesn't feel like showing up. So don't let him bullshit you that I don't send him
Oh,
invites.
man. Oh.
Be upfront about it. Don't be like, oh, Jeff doesn't let me in.
Yeah.
No. Hey, bro.
3/4 of the time, bro. But sometimes I'll be like, yo, I'm gonna come up for like, a quick 30, dog.
There's certain
Like,
people
just
that I
pop
send
in.
the link to ahead of time, and that I send it to the Raider Connection. I send it to the Silver and Black Pod. I mean, to the Most Notorious, and I send it to Sacktown Mike because Mike's always welcome on Friday nights.
Yeah.
He's been my day one
shout
guy,
out to
so
Mike. Yeah,
I always get Mike in there.
Yeah,
Until
yeah.
he
Everybody
goes
else,
like-
wait a few minutes.
Bro, I keep
Yeah.
getting these fake ones. He sends me all the fake
Fucking expired links. Oh my bad, this was from like 3 weeks ago.
No, hey, he's sending me the incomplete plays. So it's the incomplete link, so I
missing
don't get the
last
full
2
play.
digits, bro, of the link. So that's why I was like, what? Why is this broken, bro? It's broken. It
Oh,
doesn't
yes.
work.
It says
It was
incomplete
Rush
pass
Pack.
as soon as I click into it.
Oh man, that's just funny,
They're saying
bro.
this from, we were told that the beanstalk beans were
Yeah,
what we
see,
need.
look, don't be sending checks you can't catch, bro. Yeah, shout out to Sir Mostly blocked. You can get blocked. Well, oh man, that's funny. As for me, y'all already know. Wednesday, Monday, every day on Monday, 5 p.m. Pacific, Raiders Unfiltered. Make sure you guys go ahead and pull up and tap in for that one. And then we got Good Morning Raiders Saturday mornings, 10 p.m. Pacific. Not sure we're gonna go ahead and do a show on this one. I'll let you guys know towards the later of the week, probably Wednesday. We'll see what happens. But again, either way, catch the Raider Connection this damn Wednesday, 7 p.m. I know it's just 6 or 7. I don't know. Just tap in, damn it.
Just turn your notifications on. You'll see it.
Turn our notifications on. You'll know. Well, come on.
Monday morning and Saturday morning, Cafe con Raiders with these motherfuckers. So make sure
There
that
you
you
go,
guys
bro.
lock in, man. Coffee and
know.
Raiders, and we're gonna be shooting the stuff. These boys come in hot. It's the best way to eat your cereal, eat your breakfast, and get your Raider on, baby.
Exactly. So make sure you guys go ahead and pull up and tap in, and then obviously make sure you guys go ahead and hit the like button on all the channels here, Silver and Black Raider Podcast. My guy 41_Raider_Jeff, and then my channel Just Raiders, baby, with 2 A's with the Raiders. Already know what Hold on, dog.
What's up, G-Fam?
Let me do it right. Let's see who would do it right, dog.
Raiders.
Can't do a show with one of those. Not one of those, bro. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm still gonna hit that button for sure. There you go. F2C got it right. Yes, sir. There you go. Dude, you found it. But that is our time for today. I appreciate you guys pulling up and rocking with us. Post game reaction show. We're just venting a little bit. Again, you guys take it whatever you may for this game. Whether you feel it's improvement, you feel it's the same shit that we've seen week in, week out. You look terrible, whatever. There is no right or wrong answer. There is no right or wrong answer because we are the face of the nation. It's our opinion at the end of the day. We're here to go ahead and vent and talk shit and be happy, be sad, be fucking pissed, whatever. This is the session show. You already know what time it is. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate my guy G Fam. Before we head on out with the $2 holler, he said, "Smash Jeff."
Man.
Oh, sorry. Had a glow.
What are you giving him the $2 chat for? You shouldn't be giving it to me because you beat me. I know my team was bad today. This is the worst I've had all season. So hey, I'm 9-3. So whatever. And he's 5-7. So you gotta let the peasants win every now and then. So
pow!
Hey, man. Hey. Sounds like somebody's going to be locked into that Coffee and Raiders talking some shit tomorrow morning.
That was some That was a couple of shots fired from Jeff right there. Like, oh shit. Fucking Chief, I was like, fuck that, I'm calling cops, bro. Man.
Yes,
But
sir.
appreciate you guys, man. I hope you guys had fun today. Salute to everybody. And from me and Jeff, we'll see you guys tomorrow, unless something else changes from my side that I might not go on. But I'm pretty sure I'll go on for at least for a little while. So I will see everybody tomorrow. Oh, there it is. See, he came in for your peasant iced coffee. How dare you, Jeffrey? $2 holla. Take your
Go get your Dunkin'
Thanks,
Donuts.
Take your Dunkins and get out of here. There you go. Hey, appreciate you, G fam. Both those super chat $2, man. I appreciate you, my guy. All right, y'all. But yeah, that is our time for today, man. We'll see you guys mañana. Same bad channel. So make sure you guys go turn on those notices for sure.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all. Till next time, I'll see y'all.
Raiders!
Later.